Hello students, welcome to my today's session.
In the previous session, we had studied price index number calculations. So in today's session, we will be studying quantity index number, value index number and consumer price index number calculations. Okay. So first topic, that is quantity index number. So these quantity index numbers, they study the changes in the volume of goods produced or manufactured or consumed in the current period as compared to the base period. Okay. So these prices, in this case of quantity index number, prices are the weights. Okay. So now let's see. Here there is only one type. Okay. So if you want me to compare between quantity index number and price index number, you can see that under weighted aggregative price index number, we had last price index number, isn't it? So what in all types we had in weighted aggregate price index number, same we are having here in quantity index number as well, except Kelly's price index number. Okay, so except Kelly's, all other formulas will be same, but the thing is, in case of price index number, we were writing price first. But in case of quantity index number, we are writing quantity, Q first. So it is just that we swapped price and quantity. Okay. So in last price index number, PL01 is equal to summation P1 Q0 divided by summation P0 Q0 into 100, isn't it? And here what it became in case of quantity index number, it became QL01 is equal to summation Q1. Here it was P1 in case of price. Here it is Q1 P0 divided by summation Q0 P0 into 100. So same way, the next one, that is Pasch's quantity index number. Again here it is same. Q P01 is equal to Q. In case of price index number, it was P1 Q1, isn't it? But now it is Q1 P1. Okay. And divided by summation Q0 P1 into 100. And the next formula is Marshall-Edwards quantity index number. So in this, QME01 is equal to summation Q1 P0 plus summation Q1 P1 divided by summation Q0 P0 plus summation Q0 P1 into 100. The next one is Darvish-Paule's quantity index number. Here QDB01 is equal to half of summation Q1 P0 divided by summation Q0 P0 plus summation Q1 P1 divided by summation Q0 P1 multiplied by 100. And the last one is Fisher's quantity index number. Here QF01 is equal to square root of QL01 into QP01. Here L is last price and P is Pasch's. Just like the calculations of price index number. Here is the first problem on quantity index number. Compute Marshall-Edwards quantity index number using the following information. So here items are there, A, B, C, D, E. Base year quantity and value is given. Current year quantity and value is given. So here value is a new thing for us now. Usually in case of price index number, we were provided with price per unit, per quantity. Okay, but here value is given. Value is nothing but this amount, 350 rupees is there. No, it is for all the 50 units. So we have to convert it into per unit price. So it's like 350 rupees divided by 50. That is 7. So this 7 is now P0. Okay, so we have to calculate that also. P0 in case of base year and P1 in case of current year. And this will become, value is considered as Q 0, P0. Okay, you all understood, right? So this P0 we already calculated 7 rupees per unit, isn't it? So according to the formula we have to calculate Q0 P0 also, isn't it? So this value is nothing but Q0 P0. So Q0 is 50 and P0 is 7, no? So 7 into 50 is 350. That is the value. Okay, so same way we have to calculate P0 for all the items and also P1 for all the current year items. Okay, now let's start solving the problem. So now P0 we have to calculate, as I already told, it is nothing but 350 divided by 50, that is 7. And next one it is 600 divided by 120, that is 5. And next 330 divided by 30, it is 11. 360 divided by 20, it is 18. 40 by 5 is 8. Okay, and next P1, same way here it is. So this value is nothing but here Q1 P1. So we are already given with Q1 P1. Okay, Q1 P1 is read in our formula, and here this value is nothing but Q0 P0. That is also already given in the problem. We don't have to calculate these two things, but we are supposed to calculate here price per unit of each item. Okay, so next P1, how to calculate now? 420 divided by 60, that is again 7. Next 700 divided by 140, that is 5. 200 by 220, that is 10. 300 by 15, 20. And last one is 50 by 5, it is 10. Okay, so using these informations now, we are calculating Q0 P1. Q0 is given in the problem, Q0 is here, and P1 we already calculated now. So 50 into 7, that is 350. Don't get confused with the calculations. Next 120 into 5, that is 600. Next 30 into 10, that is 300. 20 into 20, 400. And next 5, 10, it is 50. Same way Q1 P0. Q1 is here, P0 is here. Let's calculate. So once after calculating all this, now we have to total it. So here Q0 P0 is, its total is, we are totaling this 1680, and next one Q1 P1 value is 1670, and this is needed 1700, and here it is 1650. So whatever information is required for calculation, we already got it. Let's start solving the problem now. Summation Q1 P0. Q1 P0 is here, that is 1650, plus Q1 P1. Q1 P1 is here 1670, divided by Q0 P0. Q0 P0 is here 1680, plus Q0 P1. It's 1700 multiplied by 100. Next, when you add these two, it will come 3320 divided by 1680 plus 1700, it is 3380, again into 100, and it will be 98.225. So this is our quantity index number for Marshall and Edgeworth formula. I hope you understood this problem. one more problem I'll be giving, which you should solve on your own. So our next topic is value index number. Here V01 is equal to summation V1 divided by summation V0 into 100. So this V1 is nothing but summation P1 Q1 divided by summation V0 is equal to P0 Q0 into 100. So for this I'll be giving one question you should solve on your own. It is very simple actually. We already calculated. You all know that how to calculate P1 Q1, how to calculate P0 Q0, and once after calculating that you will be taking total of that and applying to the formula. Okay. Here is a problem on value index number. Okay, calculate this on your own. So our next topic is consumer price index number. So while studying the theory, we have studied that consumer price index number, commonly known as cost of living index number, it is a specialized kind of retail price index number. Okay, so in order to measure the effects of variations in the prices of various commodities on the cost of living of different classes of people, separate index number are constructed for different group. Okay, so this consumer price index number is the index number of the cost met by a specified class of consumers in buying a basket of goods and services. So this goods and services is nothing but the goods and services needed in day-to-day life. And a specified class of consumers means group of consumers having almost identical pattern of consumption. So now let's see what are the different computations under consumer price index number or consumer cost of living index number, CLI. Okay, so the first one is aggregate expenditure method. So this is the first method in this. So CPI is equal to summation P1 Q0 divided by summation P0 Q0 into 100. So this formula is nothing but the formula of last price index number. So it is similar to that and the calculations also will be same. Okay, and the second one is now family budget method. So in this method, CPI is equal to summation WP divided by summation W. So W is nothing but P0 Q0 and P is P1 divided by P0 into 100. This we already calculated, isn't it, in our previous problems? Okay, so now let's start solving one problem. Since aggregative expenditure method, it is similar to last price index number, I'm not going to go for a problem with that. So let's go for the next one, that is family budget method. In that, here is a problem. Items will be given W. As you all know, in the formula it is there. W, P0, P1 is given in the problem. Now let's start solving the problem. So for this, according to formula, you need summation WP, isn't it? W is given, P is given. So how to calculate P now? P will be calculating P0 divided by P1, isn't it? Sorry, it is P1 divided by P0 into 100. Okay. So let's calculate. How to calculate now? P1 2520 divided by 2000 into 100. That is 126. Same way you calculate the remaining. So the next one is WP. It is nothing but W into P. 10 into 126. 5 into 150. Same way we have to calculate. 126 into 10 is 1260. Rest you calculate on your own. So once after calculating that too, next what is remaining? Applying all the informations to the formula. Summation WP, you have to total it and its total is 3990. So 3990 divided by summation W is total of W, that is 30, is equal to 133. So this is our family budget method. And under family budget method, consumer price index number is 133. Okay. So I'm not going to go with the aggregative expenditure method. Yes. So with this, I'm concluding today's session. So far we have studied calculation of different types of index numbers, isn't it? Like a price index number, quantity index number, and value index number. And one additional concept, that is consumer price index number, isn't it? So in price index number, we had two types, like weighted and unweighted, wherein we used log table, anti-log tables for the calculations, isn't it? And Laspres, Pache, Marshall Edward, Dorbish Bowley, Fisher, Kellis, everyone, isn't it? So next in quantity index number, we just swapped quantity and price in the formulas of a weighted aggregative price index number, isn't it? So next was value index number, which was very simple, and try to solve the question which I've already given there. Okay. So next one is this one, consumer price index number. We had two types, that is aggregative expenditure method and the family budget method. Aggregative was similar to Laspres price index number, and family budget we had a separate formula and we also calculated that, isn't it? So in the next session we will be studying tests for adequacy of index numbers. Thank you.